What up?
Of Blood Feud Radio here on the Huge Pop Entertainment Network. It's me, it's that M-A-T-T. Along with every Wednesday is my co-host, the one half of the International Tag Team Champion, undisputed International Tag Team Champions of the world.
Oof.
Great Lakes and across the pond.
What's going on?
My esteemed colleague, Rudy Poo, Rhys.
What's going on, dude? How's it going? Got a lot going on in the world of wrestling this week?
Oh, absolutely. This week has been the last since we had talked. We had a Friday Night SmackDown in which I actually tuned in for. The weekly shows have been kind of meh for me. They're kind of one of those, I don't really need to watch it to get everything. But I'm tuned in because I wanted to see two of my favorite guys wrestle. I wanted to see KO against, of course, CM Punk.
I've been enjoying it. I'm enjoying the promos between KO and Punk. I've been enjoying the tournament to fight for the number one contender spot for Roman Reigns' World Championship. Last week we had Laredo Kid taking on. Was it Phoenix? It was one of the two. I can't remember. It was one of the Lucha Bros. And then this week they stepped it up a notch with the tournament matches. Going to be getting Penta versus Phoenix in the finals. Take my money. And yeah, it's just been a nice week of wrestling. And then we've got a great weekend coming up with I believe we've got Heatwave and All In this weekend.
Yeah, Sunday. It's going to be an amazing day of wrestling.
I
really enjoyed Monday night. I thought Monday night was great.
I was about to say, can't skirt over the fact that Rhys has debuted with a brand new faction of people. Got Bronco Nima and Lucian Price making their impression on Monday Night Raw. That was very interesting.
Well, I was talking to a buddy of mine about this today, and he made the comment he looks at things as far as monetization. He looks at things as far as money, and the kind of money WWE has made with Danhausen.
Yeah,
I know he's not your guy, but he made that, and he's not really a big Danhausen guy either. But he goes, the guy has made so much money for WWE.
without a doubt.
AEW, it was one of those things that AEW fumbled. That this would have been a gold mine if they would have done something with them. But the marketing geniuses in WWE saw this guy, and he's like, all right, this is the guy.
Oh, 100%. Without a shadow of a doubt.
To him, and, and so, they legitimately have a license to print money because people are buying human monies.
Literally.
It's stupid, but he's over.
He's incredibly over, and the machine's got behind him. And from a business standpoint, from a corporate standpoint, I understand it. I get where WWE is coming from. It's more than reasonable that it would be on every single show and in as many segments as possible. Might not work for every single audience member, but it works for enough as to where he's making a shitload of money for the company.
Well, I think out of the people who are in-ring performers right now, because I don't really classify him as an in-ring performer, because he's not wrestling each week. He's doing his gimmick. Out of the in-ring performers that have came from AEW, I honestly think Royce Keys is the biggest miss that AEW's ever had.
From day one, when I was watching Royce Keys, or at the time Powerhouse Hobbs in AEW, I was watching him, and I said it to anyone that would listen. Do you know when the inevitable conversation of, if you could take three people from WWE and vice versa and put them in a different company, who would be? My first answer would always be, I would put Powerhouse Hobbs in WWE. He looks like a WWE star. He looks like someone who the company would get behind and absolutely start to push when they got a bit of momentum behind him. He carries himself like a WWE star. He wrestled like a WWE star in AEW. So when he shows up and when he starts to perform in WWE, and it doesn't take much time for him to get used to the WWE style. I feel quite vindicated when I see it.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. It was very obvious to me that fair play to AEW All Elite Wrestling for giving him the initial opportunity, but I really think he's going to find his feet on the main roster on Raw with this with the new faction that he's got going. Speaking of that new faction, OTM out of the mud. I see a lot of people complaining about how they had to stall and stop the storylines that was currently going on in AAA and in NXT. For anyone who didn't know what was happening, obviously we had Bronco Nima in Perros del Mar in AAA. They kicked him out. I believe it was last week or this week, whenever it was. So that storyline came to a cooking. There was a bit of tension on AEW, on NXT between Lucian Price and Bronco Nima because each other thought, they were going out and doing their own thing. They eventually came back together, started like teaming up again about a week before all of this went down. For me personally, I don't really have a problem with it, to be honest with you. I honestly don't. I think NXT is designed to try out different things, to look into what's working, what's not. Once you come up to the main roster, for the most part, that takes prominence over whatever's going on the cards for the different performers.
Yeah, and not to backtrack into what we were talking about with Powerhouse Hobbs or Rhys Keys or whatever. The three that preceded him, the Jade Cargill, that was a miss on our end. I don't think, or not our end, but on WWE's part, I don't think they billed her correctly. I think she was a flop and still is a flop. I don't like her. She is like the one person in the women's division that I would be like if she announced that she's leaving WWE, she's going back to AEW, I wouldn't care. Like
it wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, with Jay Cargill, I mean, in wrestling, and obviously you've been watching it for long enough that you'll agree with me when I say this. You always try to play to people's strengths, like expose their strengths, try and hide the weaknesses. WWE have failed to do that at least for the past 12 months, maybe even longer. And AEW had it down to a T. Give her short matches where she looks strong, where it doesn't expose the fact that she's still quite green in the ring, but it made the fans get behind her. It was kind of a Goldberg effect where the crowd really enjoyed the things that they saw, and it didn't have enough time to become stale or, like I say, expose her as a bit of I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. WWE have done nothing but that since she joined the main roster. I don't know if it's because she missed NXT, but at the same time, I think it's just because they were so keen and so eager to get her in front of a crowd because she looks a lot different than 99% of the women you've got on that roster. Then they've shot themselves in the foot.
And the next two people that I'm hoping you'll 100% agree with me, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, both misses.
So when it comes to Ricky Saints, I don't disagree. For me personally, even in AEW, Ricky Starks, like he was very much over in AEW. I never really saw it. I've never seen Ricky Starks as the guy that everyone like. People keep telling me about Ricky Starks and how good Ricky Starks is, and I have yet to see what everyone else sees in him. As for Ethan Page, I'm not going to agree with you on that right now, just because in NXT he was brilliant as a North American champion. I think he did some great work by himself and with Chelsea Green. I think that he's come up to the main roster and maybe he's had a bit of more of a slower start than people thought. But it looks like he's about to go into a feud with Chad Gable for that Intercontinental Championship. So the door's open for him there to kick it. So yeah, initially. As far as like the longevity of it.
My thing with Ethan Page is that I just feel he's not the main event. Like he doesn't feel like a main eventer. Like he feels like an upper middle card, like upper middle card kind of guy. But Rhys Keys just feels like a main eventer, like right now. Like, he just feels like a guy that, and I hate saying it, but it's like the Big E thing. Big meaty man slapping meat. Like, he's got the look. He's got two badasses behind him. That's not gonna hurt. I just love this version of Rhys Keys. I really do. And
I'm liking it as well. I mean, like, we've literally seen about 5 minutes of the new Rhys Keys, but I'm loving it. I wouldn't even go as far to say that he's a heel. I just quite like the fact that he's a bit of an in-between guy with an edge. Shout out to Michael Cole for delivering the whitest line I've ever heard in my life. He's like, "Oh, we've heard stories from the hood in Oakland," and it's like, "No, you haven't, Michael. Shut up." No, you haven't heard any of that. Like, it doesn't have to be a hood story. Like, out the mud. All they have to do is turn around and say, "We're fighting the bloodline because they were given everything we've had to work from the ground up," and that's all they need to say. I'm just excited the fact that Gang Wars. Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that Gang Wars are back in WWE, but that looks like we're going to be getting we're running back 1996, 1997. Royce Keys, Bronco Nima, Lucian Price. They weren't doing anything with OTM and NXT. They might as well be on the main roster doing something, helping out that tag team division. Royce Keys, again, needed a bit of an edge to his character. The Bloodline needed something credible to go up against because it was going to get stale. And you've got Jacob Fatu on the other side of that. Maybe this is the way to pull Jacob Fatu away from the Bloodline. Because he came from out the mud as well. He's the only person in that family that didn't follow the route that all the other family members did. He did have to scratch and claw on the indies, out of prison to get to where he is today. That could be the catalyst to getting him out of the bloodline.
We have someone on YouTube, Rhys, PH 1994. I think Ricky needs to be with someone who would bring out the best in him, like The Miz. Ethan would be perfect, or will be perfectly fine. He has a lot. He has a lot about him. Royce seems like he's a man on a mission, which I'm here for. The only thing he's missing is Mo and Mabel.
The thing is about Ricky Saints is shout out to Rhys, by the way. He's from the Discord. Love him. I agree for the most part what you say there. Ethan Page does have he has a lot of upside. He has the potential to really outshine most of the people on the roster. I think his trajectory eventually does put him in the main event. Royce Keys does have a lot about him. I'm just excited to see next week on Raw, which is what wrestling should be, which is what WWE should be. You should be able to be excited for the next week. As for Ricky Saints, I mean, he's right there on the roster. How about you just put him with Big Bill again? Put him with Big Cass. Big Cass isn't getting the reactions that you want. Ricky Starks and him used to team up in AEW. That was a formula for success. Just do it again in WWE. We already need tag teams. We need people to fill out that division. Put them two back together. Simple as that.
Now, we saw the debut. Obviously, we're talking about why I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Powerhouse Hobbs, but we saw the debut of him and his new breaking up what is honestly one of my favorite storylines right now. The LA Knight Solo Dolo team is money.
It is.
It is amazing. Pew!
It really is. And I'm pretty sure, if you go back to last week's podcast, Matt, I think I was the one saying, listen, LA Knight is probably not winning that world championship, but fear not, because there's a real opportunity here to make him and Solo Sikoa a tag team. And that is licensed to print money. It really is. That segment at the start of Raw, where Jey Uso did the power thing with the gun and Solo did the Matrix thing, that was so funny. And Corey Graves on commentary going, he's the one. It was so good. It was fantastic. I
loved when Solo interrupted LA Knight when he was talking. He kept going and wanted to sing, "We got everybody," and he's like, "No, listen, no."
You get one of those.
Yeah. You've done it twice now. I can't let you do it a third time.
Yeah.
Those two just play off each other so well.
They do. They do.
And I saw fan footage, and this makes me laugh so much. I'll have to send it to you. I saw fan footage as he's walking back up the ramp after the. Well, I put it in the group chat. He's walking up the ramp. He stops and talks to one of the fans, and he reaches into his pocket, like into his jacket, like he's going to do the whole pew pew thing. And he goes, "It's perfect."
Yeah,
I was like, okay. This is the solo I've wanted. Like, this is. It felt like old school rock,
dude. And this is what I like about it. Like I say, like this is the third week I'm going to say this. It feels so good to be a day one solo fan. Like, I've been singing his praises since NXT. I've loved every character he's done. It really shows the versatility of what Solo can do. Like, he went from being a silent enforcer for Roman Reigns to whatever the hell he's doing now, and like it's so cool to see him like flex his like comedic muscles. Him and LA Knight could really go places. And if you saw the main event of Monday Night Raw, those two have chemistry in the ring, man. As a tag team, it works.
Yeah,
it really does. Like you say, they play off each other, not just on the microphone, but in the ring as well.
It's weird. One of like the guy that my buddy who loves pro wrestling that I was talking to earlier, said that he doesn't understand what they're doing with the Usos. He feels like the Usos have now kind of become Roman's lackeys again. Like, as far as like they're kind of, and this is his words, not mine. He said that they're kind of pussifying they're almost neutering the Usos. That they should be a lot better than they are, a lot bigger than they are. And I'm not sure if I agree with that. Like, I don't know if it's.
No, I'm not sure I agree with it either. At the end of the day,
I would consider the Usos probably the greatest tag team of this generation.
I would agree with that. Corey Graves was talking about that on Monday. The fact that these guys are probably the greatest of all time. And I was thinking, maybe not the great. I mean, I'm a sucker for the Dudleys. Maybe I'm a bit biased about that. But in terms of the greatest tag team of this generation, it's them or the New Day, in my opinion. If you're talking outside of WWE, then the conversation opens a little bit, it's like to the Bucks, to FTR, etc. But if we're talking WWE, it's them or the New Day.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Usos, and WWE can stamp this as give them whatever name they want, like you're the captains of the bloodline now, etc., which I'm fine with. If you want to relate it to like a mafia family, now they're like the Kappa regimes. Solo Sikoa is like the underboss. They're the Kappa regimes, like of the family. Roman Reigns is the Don. So we've got a couple of Capos. We've got the underboss, and we've got Roman Reigns. But for the Usos, let's be honest, this is WWE hitting the reset button on Jimmy and Jay. Jimmy kind of lost his way when the bloodline split up a couple of years ago. He wasn't really doing anything. SmackDown was a bit of a home where everyone forgot he existed on. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship, which I still stand to this day. I say wasn't a mistake. WWE tried. It didn't work. It wasn't a complete failure. I think everyone's overreacting about it. It wasn't a complete failure. They gave it a go. They tried to make a new star, a new single star. They didn't completely fail because Jey Uso is still very much popular by himself. But with the bloodline coming back around, this is a perfect time for them to get back into the bag and get back to what made them good. And then to maybe try again, like when the bloodline eventually splits up.
I think the Usos, and it's just, again, these are all our opinions. They're not, like, these aren't facts. I'm not going to sit here and argue and debate. I think the Usos are it's a weird situation where obviously Jimmy or Jay would have been considered the Shawn Michaels and Jimmy the Marty Jannetty. of the
Oh, that
group.
act of cowardice.
But I think this is a rare occurrence after a group breaks up that you want them to get back together, because I don't think, like, Jay's good on his own, but he's not a main eventer on his own.
Yeah, I mean,
he's good. Like, he's put on really good matches, but I think he's better and he's stronger with his brother. He's a better tag team technician, and that's great, because that helps out the tag division. Because honestly, right now the tag division is weak.
It is weak, and it doesn't necessarily take anything away from Jay. Like I say, I'm happy with what he did when he was a single star, Intercontinental Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, Royal Rumble winner. I will stand and die on this hill and say he deserved his spot. He earned his spot. That doesn't take away anything, the fact that he's come back to a tag team. And I'll give a perfect example, dude. Jeff Hardy. Everyone loved Jeff Hardy when he was by himself. Jeff Hardy was a WWE champion. He was an Intercontinental champion. He had a lot of success as a single star, but everyone craves for the Hardy Boys to return. By the way, they had a great match at TNA Lockdown. If you've not watched it, go and watch it against the Nemeth brothers. It was very, very good. But I digress. And no matter how successful Jeff Hardy is by himself, no matter how successful Matt Hardy is by himself with a broken gimmick, people crave for the Hardy tag team to come back.
Yeah.
Look at Bully Ray. Bully Ray, TNA World Champion, one of the biggest breakout tag team stars in wrestling history, I would say, and I don't think that's an understatement. But people love the Dudley Boys, and people love to see the Dudley Boys.
Yeah. Here's a question that I know we're jumping all over the place.
No, I'm fine with jumping all over the place, dude. It gives people a chance to interact if they want to. By the way, put your statements, put your in the comments down below.
Here, I'm just trying to shift gears away and not fall down a rabbit hole. Because that's extremely easy to do with pro wrestling.
For real.
Actually, you know what? We'll save that, or my question, for next week, because I want to get to the All-In card and the Heat Wave card.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's go through our thoughts on the matches. Yeah.
Let's see. We got All-In 2026, and that's going to be an afternoon show for us.
I'm very happy for you guys, and I'm very happy for me as well. That card looks absolutely stacked, dude. I'm not even joking. It looks fantastic as well.
It's one of the shorter All-Ins, as far as match quantity. It's only 9 matches long.
I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine with it.
I don't think this is the order they're going in, but this is the order that that Wikipedia has listed. So it's probably not the order. Match number 1 they have listed is Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Women's World Championship. Anyone who's been on the show or watched the show knows my disdain for Mercedes Moné. I do not like her. I hope Willow Nightingale retains. I really do.
See, this is the thing about this is one of the most underwhelming matches of the card for me, and it's not necessarily because I like or dislike any of the women in the match. I'm not the biggest Mercedes Moné fan in the world. I do think she's going to win. It kind of makes sense that she will win. It's about time that she wins that women's championship. I think AEW have held off for as long as they possibly can. When it comes to Willow Nightingale being this fan favorite, being the women's champion, I'm really not sold on it, and I know a lot of people are, and that's going to annoy a couple of people. I'm not sold on it. I like Willow Nightingale. I think she's fantastic in the ring, but it really kind of stung and hit me hard when she won the women's championship, because I was enjoying Thekla's run so much. I thought she delivered above and beyond what AEW expected she was going to do. And I think they cut it too short just because they had this plan in the head that they wanted Willow Nightingale maybe to face Mercedes Moné at All In. But I think Thekla, whatever you want to call her, was a fantastic women's champion in AEW. Hopefully when she comes back, she starts challenging for that women's title again.
The next match they have listed is, my opinion, the only match that really has me really engaged, and that's Kenny versus Will Ospreay.
Oh, dude! I mean, even though we know who's going to win, that match is probably going.
If it's not Will Ospreay winning this, I will be pissed off for you.
Yeah, if Will Ospreay doesn't win, then what is AEW doing? You've got the home crowd. You've got Wembley Stadium, Will Ospreay winning his first AEW World Championship. There, you know, the ingredients are right there, dude. Just bake the fucking cake, you know. So when it comes to Will Ospreay winning that championship, it's going to be a fantastic match. It's probably going to be one of the matches of the year if they give it enough time. Kenny Omega and Ospreay have amazing chemistry together. We've seen that at Wrestle Kingdom, plus many other shows and interactions that they've had. I really enjoyed the promo battle that they had last week on Dynamite, where they went at each other, and Kenny Omega turned around to Ospreay and said, "You know, your kid's gonna have another hero by the time the matches come to an end." And I just thought that was like a little stick in the ribs, like a bit of a knife, like jab in the ribs there for Will Ospreay. This is going to be great. Even though Kenny Omega's had diverticulitis and a lot of injury battles over the past couple of years, he's barely lost a step. And he's stepping in there with someone who he is very familiar with. I'm very excited for it.
This has the potential of being just. This will end up being, I think, a better version of SummerSlam '92.
I agree.
With Brett and Bulldog.
For real.
I think Kenny's clearly, with all of his health issues and he's not getting any younger, I think this might be this isn't him retiring by any means, because he's not that old to retire yet. But I think this is maybe him taking a step back after losing to Will.
Becoming more of like an appearance star. I understand that. Yeah.
So I think, next one on the board, we have potentially a retirement match. And I'm just going to throw this out there. Potential to be with Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks for the tag team champions. I'm hearing, this could be Adam Copeland's swan song. This could be the last.
Okay, I've not heard anything about that. I did not know that. I mean, if it is, then God bless. I hope it's a great match. Again, this has the potential to steal the show. All four of these guys can go.
One thing before you get going, I loved the interaction between them and between them backstage when goes, "You're not our dad," and fucking Cage is all like, "You don't know that."
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Like ever since Christian Cage has come to AEW, he's been just firing on all cylinders. I love the fact that he's found a second life in this company. Cope, I mean, I'm very up and down on Cope in AEW. I think he has pushed himself a little bit too far in terms of like putting himself over, but that's by the by. Whenever him and Christian team up, it's always great.
I wouldn't be time for Papa Buck to hit super kicks on everyone. Hey, listen, I've been a Bucks fan. Like I do like the Young Bucks. I really do. And I love their BTE being the elite. I love that whole series. And their dad was on that show a lot in the early goings before they became AEW.
Yeah.
And he's just a cool dude. And I feel like his appearance would just be that much cooler. Like if he did come in and super kick Cage.
Can you imagine?
I think that would be fucking awesome. Be like, "No, I'm their dad, you son of a bitch," and just super kicks them.
It would. that would be a cool little spot. I would like to see that. Like I say, if this is Edge's or Cope's swan song, then God bless. No better match than having it with your best friend. And like I say, these four guys can go. The Bucks very rarely miss when it comes to putting on matches. They're the big time players. They're used to the big stage, and I don't need to say that about Cope and Cage. Obviously, they are. So you got four professionals in there that will absolutely steal the show. I think the Bucks are probably going to win.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad if either one of them took home the dub.
Next one up is for a AEW World Heavyweight Championship. The Casino Gauntlet match. It's Andrade, MJF, Tommaso Ciampa, and others. They haven't said who else is going to be in the match yet.
Yeah, so MJF and Andrade starting 1 and 2 respectively. These two have had a great little rivalry going on in AEW for the past couple of weeks. Oh God, it's like Andrade has been unbelievable. This resurgence in AEW has been unbelievable.
I love the whole how you know.
How you know?
How you know?
Where has his charisma been in WWE, dude? And I know he had it when he's on the Indies and everything. Where has his charisma been? Why is WWE not utilize this man properly? Because he can do this, he can perform like this. Andrade is fantastic, and if this gauntlet started and it was literally just these two, and then one of them won, I would not be mad at it. Tommaso Ciampa always in there. You can never write off Tommaso Ciampa. There's probably going to be some surprise debuts, some appearances in that gauntlet. So I can't really give you a definitive answer of who I think's going to win. But all I can say is I wouldn't hate it if Andrade won.
Next up, we have something that I really hope it's Nigel McGuinness and Johnny and Moxley. I really do. I want it to be Nigel McGuinness so bad.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly.
You get no arguments from me.
Oh, I won't either. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying I would rather see Nigel McGuinness than Moxley than I would.
I mean, for the country, for the home country pop, it would make sense if it was Nigel McGuinness. The only reason I'm saying I want it to be Kyle O'Reilly is, my feelings on Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I think without a shadow of a doubt, he's probably the most underrated wrestler in that company. He was without a shadow of a doubt the best member of the Undisputed Era. I love Kyle O'Reilly to absolute bits. He deserves the world. That match that you had on Collision last week with Orange Cassidy, Freshly Squeezed, was great. He does not put a foot wrong in that ring. And this would make sense if he beat Jon Moxley in the final, getting his lick back against Mox. Whoever it is going to be, I think it's going to be a show stealer. I know I've said that about 3 of the matches up to now. But again, AEW very rarely put on a non-strong card, right? So Kyle O'Reilly versus Mox or Nigel McGuinness versus Mox. Either way, I'm just gonna sit back, sit down, and enjoy it.
Next one on the card is the Divine Dominion, taking on the Brawling Birds. I don't know much about this match. So
it's one of them where, I just love Megan Bain, to be honest. We were having a conversation in a live a couple of days ago about how do we really need just that absolute powerhouse in the women's division, and people, including myself, brought up Raquel Rodriguez because she wasn't getting the flowers she deserved, and I thought that was weird. And I said to him, the only reason that you think that WWE needs a character like that is because you've got a girl like Megan Bain in AEW who is filling that spot perfectly. Divine Dominion, I love Divine Dominion. Brawling Birds, they're from Britain. So it would make sense if they won the tag titles. I'm going to stick with Divine Dominion, though. I'm just going to go with them. I'm not the biggest Brawling Birds fan, to be honest, just because they're British. I don't know. I don't really care about the gimmick. That's all I'm going to say about
that. Okay. Number 7, Kevin Knight, the TNT champion, against Darby Allin.
Yes.
That's going to be a fucking banger, too.
It will. And Kevin Knight has really entered a new stride since turning heel, joining the Don Callis family. In my opinion, it's just what he needed to add a bit of an edge, add a bit of flavor to his character. I always thought the Jet was great. Like the Jet was like killing it in AEW, but he was always lacking a little bit of personality. And now he's got a bit of a sharpness to everything that he says and everything that he does. And the fact that he's been messing with Sting's son as well, just is like the icing on the cake for this rivalry. As we know, like the relationship between Darby and Sting. Darby Allin always delivers for the most part in every single match that he does. So yeah, Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin just going to be a solid mid card, probably mid show killer. I can't wait for it. And I think I'm just going to say I think Kevin Knight's retaining. I hope so.
This next one, if it would have happened, granted, it couldn't have happened because Kyle Fletcher wasn't in the business 7 years ago. But I really wish Okada would have been 7 years younger, because I think you put Fletcher, Takeshita, and Okada in the ring in their primes. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like Okada, I feel like Okada's still a big name and everything, but he's not the Okada from New Japan.
He's lost a step. Yeah.
But
what I will say is, from where he's lost a step in the ring, I think he's gained one in terms of his character development and his mic ability. I think he's more interesting of a person now. I quite like the dynamic in this match. The fact you got like Kazuchika Okada and Kyle Fletcher in the Don Callis family, and then you get Konosuke Takeshita, like just as like a bit of a threat there. Kyle Fletcher's paranoid that Okada's not going to help him out in this match. Obviously, Okada's like, try to gaslight him, saying, it's what's best for the family, etc. This is going to be a great match, and I'm going to say it again. This is a potential, say it with me, show stealer of a match. Like this is, how can you not say it's Takeshita versus Okada versus Fletcher isn't going to be a show stealer, a triple threat?
It's going to be an absolute banger. It really will be.
It will. It really will. And again, if they give it enough time, who's to say is going to win this? I'm going to go with Okada winning this.
I won't be mad at it.
I wouldn't be mad at it either. I think this is Fletcher's direction, his route out of the Don Callis family. I don't know what he does after this. I don't think he should turn him babyface. I just think he should have a falling out with the Don Callis family. That's fine. You don't have to turn him full face. But the fact that all of these guys have a history together, he's just going to feed into this match.
Now we have. I'm assuming tonight we'll find out who Hangman and Brodito take on for the trios WWE or AEW World Trios Championship. I'm assuming we find out tonight.
Well, see, this is the thing. Like, this is a bit of a complicated situation for the trios titles, because obviously you've got Brodito and Page as the champions. You got Ricochet circling back around with his group, like heading for those tag team championships. You've got the Dogs, which I'm loving in AEW. It's a shame that they had a couple of injuries that's kind of stalled the momentum. But I love the Dogs. Every single member of that faction, they've been killing it for years, and they're doing it on a big stage now. But then you've also got the X Factor of Swerve Strickland, who, let's be honest, is showing up with the New Day at All In.
Oh my God, that would be freaking insane if that's what we get.
I think that's what we're getting. I really do. I think it's going to be a situation similar to WrestleMania 33, where you've got a bunch of teams in the ring, and Swerve Strickland maybe finds like a couple of partners like last minute, and it's Woods and Kingston. It would make sense. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what Kofi and Xavier can do in that ring. When they've not got the shackles, no offense, of WWE on them. I really do think Xavier Woods could be a standout performer in AEW. Kofi Kingston, again, like just a veteran, kind of like your Shelton Benjamins or your Bobby Lashley's, where you're just kind of interested to see what they can do with a different style of pro wrestling. So I'm totally down for this. Even if they don't win the trios championships, I want them in the company. But if they do win those trios championships, imagine Swerve Strickland, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods managed by Prince Nana. Again, kind of like Solo and LA Knight. That's just a license to print fucking money right there, dude.
So now we'll switch over to NXT Heatwave. That will be later on in the afternoon, early evening for us, and then nighttime. Well, yeah, kind of nighttime. No, wait, because if it starts at 6, so it'll be like late.
It'll be like 1 in the morning for me. Yeah. Yeah, 11, 12, something like that. Yeah.
Jada Parker versus Natty in a submission match.
See, I don't really have much to say about this match. I mean, I think Jada Parker's probably going to come out with the dub. I don't know how she's going to overcome Natty. These two have surprisingly good chemistry for two people who have completely different styles. I quite like the fact that Natty's gone down to NXT, picked up a couple of girls to like elevate, just by standing next to someone like Natty. And she's going off facing against Jada Parker. I think this might be Jada Parker's swan song in NXT. I don't see her staying in NXT for very much longer, to be honest with you. She isn't going to win any championships. I think they've made it very clear that she hasn't been on the path of winning championships in NXT. The main roster bound, Lola Vice is going up there. You might as well send Jada up as well to fill out either women's division. I don't mind. But hey, while she's there, I'm just saying the other members of OTM are right there. How about we put them back together with Rhys?
Yeah. Next up, I'm going bottom to I'm going by kind of like piecing stuff together. Miles Bowman, Tavion Heights versus the Vanity Project for the tag team championships. Banger. Yeah. It's going to be a banger.
It will be a banger. And also you've got the interesting factor here of they actually said it on NXT as well that you don't know the order of matches, but Miles Bourne is actually pulling double duty tonight. You've got the Vanity Project tag team title match, and then obviously you've got him defending the North American Championship against Jackson Drake.
That's going to be a banger too.
It will be a banger. And shout out to Miles Bourne for pulling double duty. Depending on how
that guy is insanely good. Like, he's so talented.
Very talented, and no offense to him as well. The fact that he's had to overcome being pretty much deaf, and being able to cut promos as good as he does it's inspiring and it's inspirational to watch. Because he actually has personality in everything that he says. That he's coming to his own. His character isn't just I'm deaf. It's I'm Miles Bourne and also I'm deaf. Depending.
Maybe that's why I like him so much.
Yeah,
I'm deaf. I'm deaf, and anyone who knows me knows that I've had a cochlear device for the last 2 years. I'm legally deaf.
Well, there you go then, dude. And I'm sure it's great to see someone on TV that's kind of like you can relate to. Someone who doesn't let his what could be considered a hindrance affect anything that he does in life. He's still succeeding. I don't know if people know this about me. I'm registered as severely sight impaired. I'm registered as partially sighted. So
that providing our conversation in the group, that's quite obvious with you enjoying Von Wagner's sketches more than
listen, you don't need good eyes. You don't need good eyes to acknowledge the great Von Wagner, okay? When it comes to that, and you got someone there with a disability, really shining, and also pulling a girl like Stephanie Vaco, we all got to be doing better in life, you can't let this guy show us up.
Absolutely.
But again, just to reiterate, depending on what order of the matches that are happening, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to be happening here. You've got a potential outcome of losing the tag team championships while retaining the North American Championship. I have a feeling that Tavion Heights may be turning heel here. And you may have a bit of a rivalry between him and Miles Bourne for the North American Championship. I'm a massive Tavion Heights guy. huge Xavier Knights guy. I think the sky is the limit for that kid. So I'm down for that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but by the way, if I'm talking too much, dude, like, please give your opinions on the matches. Like I know I'm going off a little bit of a rant sometimes.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
When I start rolling, I just kind of roll.
Next up, we have, again, like, you know how for AEW you said that pretty much every other match was a potential match card stealer.
Yeah,
this card is looking like that as well. Zarya, Ren Sinclair, and Kelly Armstrong.
100%. And this is a unification match as well.
Yes.
For the North American and the Speed title.
Getting rid of the Speed Championship. I'm fucking done with it.
Yeah, I mean
it's dumb.
It doesn't really hold any value anymore, to be honest. Did it ever? Probably not.
No, it never did.
Yeah. When it comes to this match, I wouldn't be shocked if Kelly Armstrong came out with a victory in this. They've been pushing her quite hard, and she is talented. I think she's very, very good. I have no problem with her winning this. I'm a big Zarya person, though, so I am pulling for Zarya in this match. But all three of these women are insanely talented. I don't think Ren Sinclair gets the praise that she deserves. I think she's far better than people give her any reasonable doubt for. I think she's fantastic. I really do. The fact that she's only holding that Speed Championship, I wouldn't say it's an anchor. I think she really needs the title offer so she can go for bigger and better things. I wouldn't even mind a Ren Sinclair versus Kendall Gray feud for that championship.
I am super excited, and I'm going to sound like a horrible mark for this next one. Kendall Gray, Kalani Jordan. I really hope they let Kalani Jordan have it. I really do. She has busted her ass so much over the last 3 years for NXT. Like she does what she shows. She's one of those that shows up, does her job every week, does what she's told. She's earned this spot, and I really hope they let her have a run with that championship. I really do. She deserved it.
I mean, fair play. I respect your opinion. I'm not.
Won't have it. She probably won't win it because she's a better. Again, she's got the Sami Zayn effect. She's better fighting from underneath. She's not a champion, even though I want her to be.
I think she is very, very underwhelming. Maybe I'm not seeing something that other people are seeing. I think if I ask Gemini to cut a promo, it would have more personality than Kalani Jordan. It's like Kalani bought 3,000 cutting a promo in 3, 2, 1. I am Kalani. I am coming for that championship. I think she's very, very I don't think she is flexible. I think she's rigid. I think she's decent in the ring. I'll give her that. I won't take that away from her. But when it comes to Kalani Jordan, I think she's so green for how long she's been in NXT for. And I think she needs a lot of work. I really do. I don't know. I don't think she's at the level that some people that have had 2 years less experience than her have. Kendall Gray is already ahead of her in every way.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't see them taking it off of her. But I think again, this is for. That's why I compare her to Sami Zayn. It's new. Why not give someone new the championship? And I'm kind of taking that from someone else that we know. It's new. Let's try something new. If it doesn't work, you give it back to somebody.
Yeah, I'm all for giving people a chance.
Who knows? Maybe once she becomes champion, it'll give her the confidence to cut a better promo.
I mean, it worked for JC Jane. Why can't it work for her? I'd be more than willing to give her an opportunity if she won the championship. But I'm not just hating on her for hating's sake. You know, like, so yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I just don't think it would be the right decision. But give her a shot. Why not?
And then the main event: Tony D, Grayson Waller, Cruz Montana, and Zilla Fatu.
I really don't want them to go the obvious route in this, but we had a conversation about this in the group chat. It really, really feels like WWE are beating you over the head. Like, if you wasn't 95% convinced that Zilla Fatu's walking away with that championship on Sunday, then the fact that he's had a video package on Raw, that he came out looking like the strongest person on NXT last night, really, like, you know, sends it home for you that Zilla Fatu's probably winning that championship. I think it's way too early. I don't think they should put the championship on him straight away. This is not me hating on Zilla Fatu. I like Zilla Fatu. I'm not saying he's bad or his promos are bad. I'm just saying that sometimes putting the world championship on someone straight away isn't always the move. He has got plenty of opponents. He's got plenty of great opponents to go up against. 3 of them are in this match. And then you've got Naraku, you've got Keanu Carver, you've got Cam Hendricks, you've got EK Prosper. You've got so many people on the NXT roster that Zilla Fatu could go up against. And I really do think they're going to put the world championship on him straight away, when in my opinion, it should be Grayson Waller. I think Grayson Waller should hold that championship. He's been back in NXT for a couple of weeks, and he's been more interesting in those couple of weeks than he has ever been in WWE since he left NXT back in like 2023. So give him the championship, give him the ability to cut the promos that he's been cutting lately, have him go up against the people that have recently come up to the NXT roster, and just let him run with it, and send Tony D'Angelo up to the main roster.
Now, here's what I am here for that. I'm here for sending Tony D up to the main roster. Maybe find guys that he can roll with up there. Like, put him back in a faction setting. Put him,
yes, please.
Like, put him back into not necessarily a mob boss, but maybe something like that. Maybe he's the one that assembles Big Cass and Ricky Saints. Maybe he puts those 2 guys together and starts building his faction that way. Maybe it's those 2 guys and be like, hey, listen, I have a master plan. I want to get this done. Let's go get it. You guys will be tag team champions. I'm gonna go after some gold myself. Let's get it done.
Tony's always been better with the faction around him.
Yeah, I think he's better. He's definitely better than what he is as a single. I've been saying that for a while.
Yeah. He's very much a one-note character.
Grayson Waller winning is the best for business. It truly is, because that gives a chance that we could see Cruz Montana and Zilla in one-on-one action against each other.
Yep.
And I really think, like, those 2 can have a feud. Then you can, like you said, like, there's so many other guys in that main event picture down on NXT that can give Grayson Waller, or that Grayson Waller can test. And I'm going to quote Cody here, Cody Cornette. Baron Corbin was the measuring stick for the longest time. Before him, it was Sean Waltman. I think maybe they're trying to condition Grayson Waller to be the next Baron Corbin type guy. If you can have a good match with Grayson Waller, you can maybe that's what they want to develop him into. I'm not saying he is now, but maybe that's what they're trying to develop him into. Like, if you want to take the next step to the main roster, let's see if you can have a match with Grayson Waller, because he's been up there.
It's funny that you mentioned Baron Corbin when it comes to Grayson Waller, because I was literally about to make a point, and I agree, by the way, because Grayson Waller, he's solid in the ring. When it comes to Grayson Waller, don't make the mistake that he did with Baron Corbin. If he ends up killing it on the NXT roster with this character, And it ends up working out the way it seems to be working out over the past couple of weeks. The same way that Baron Corbin started killing it when he was teaming up with Braun Breaker, with the Wolf Dogs, and he had this whole character where he was like more honest and stuff. Baron Corbin came back up to the main roster and they didn't capitalize on that momentum. They didn't do anything with his new character. If you plan to bring up Grayson Waller back up to the main roster, let him bring this character, let him do what he's doing on NXT, put him on SmackDown, put it on Raw, and it would work. It would work so well. It would make money for you. Just let a guy like that talk and do what he does on the microphone, and you will not look back.
Yeah, I'm not totally sold on Waller, but I'm hoping he ends up being that guy. I really do.
Same here, dude. Same here.
But quick little programming note: tomorrow I'll be back at 2:15 Eastern Standard Time to do my college football and NFL preview show for next week. Or we're doing the preview show this week, and we'll start the new weekly show next week with my brother. Friday night. Friday is going to be our last afternoon show with our sports themed show. We're going to be talking about the best pitchers in Major League Baseball history. Scott, if you can join the thing after the show, I got a little bit of. I forgot to call you earlier. If you can join the studio and discuss something. And then we have his show on Tuesday. Is the Raw review, so check it out on the replay from last night. And yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on. And thanks for Rhys PH for all your comments. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them. Very active. I like it a lot that you're active.
Hell yeah! He's from my Discord, RPH Rhys, dude. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it, man. Like I say, just you watching. Let's get into some of your comments. Hopefully, just a bit of a cheap plug as well. Speaking of the Discord, make sure you check out my Discord. It's KCW, and they got another one called Wrestle Talk. We are going to be probably doing a call for AEW All In and Heatwave. So if you would like the link to that, I will drop it to you in a private DM.
CJ Montana is a guest on tonight's show with Scott. So he's an independent wrestler, very talented young man.
Nice.
And of course, and if you haven't already, go back from last week and watch Rip Rogers on our show and listen to him as he eats a bowl of mashed potatoes. Yes, a whole bowl of mashed potatoes through the whole hour and 20 minutes. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's impressive.
Yes, he ate multiple. I'm going to say it's just a big bowl of mashed potatoes.
You got to get the spuds in whenever you can, dude.
Yeah. And then next week we're going to probably talk about Heatwave, talk about what happened at All In and going forward, and probably giving our predictions for Sunday night main event. So we have a full week loaded up for our show next week as well. So again, thank you for everyone who's came and supported us. And I appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.